How's it looking out there, boy?
Like 2 more satisfied regulars, Mr. K.
I ain't interested in the same old regular SpongeBob, so I took out an ad in the Bikini Bottom Examiner to bring in some new customers.
Hello, SpongeBob fans. Are you bored and don't know what to do during your weekend? Well, if that's the case, today we have a really special video for you. Grab some popcorn and get comfortable because we will show you some goofs and animation errors that you can find in SpongeBob SquarePants. Number 1. The KRABBY Chronicle. SpongeBob for sure is a great chef, but what about being a writer? Well, in this episode, Mr. Krabs had our protagonist working not only as Krusty Krab's best hamburger maker, he also turned SpongeBob into a great writer for his own newspaper. Well, even if SpongeBob is learning a new job, we found some scenes that had some mistakes in them. Let's take a look at them quickly.
And he appears to be waiting for the bus. This is the kind of breaking story my readers are waiting for. Patrick Star, I'm Scoop SquarePants from the KRABBY Chronicle. Everyone's wondering, what bus are you taking today?
SpongeBob! What's the meaning of this?
Meaning of what, Mr. Krabs?
Local resident watches poll? No one's gonna pay to read this malarkey?
This mistake passed right before our eyes when we were watching the episode. But hey, starting a new job is a really hard task to complete. So let's look at this scene where SpongeBob takes some pictures of Patrick for Mr. Krabs' newly created newspaper. When SpongeBob takes those pictures of Patrick, our favorite starfish doesn't seem to be in his happiest mood, but a couple of moments after, when Krabs is arguing with SpongeBob about how he did his job and how he wrote the newspaper, the photos of Patrick that appear show him with a big smile. Well, this is funny because we didn't remember that Patrick wasn't as happy the first time SpongeBob took photos of him, but for sure it is something that animators also forgot. But some more scenes from the episode also caught our attention.
Plankton's chum made of your chums? The chum bucket serves your friends in more ways than one? What? Who's to blame for this? Who?
Plankton is usually a pretty evil mastermind, but this time he tried to deceive all of us. When Bikini Bottom's resident villain reads the fake article about the bad service that he offers in the chum bucket, the article reads, "Plankton's chum are made of your chums." But when Plankton reads it, he adds a line that doesn't really appear in the newspaper. He says the chum bucket serves your friends in more ways than one. Well, this may be a strategy to make the article more dramatic, or maybe someone forgot about that line being shown in the newspaper. Number 2. The Good Krabby Name. Let's continue with more episodes of SpongeBob having multiple funny professions. Well, this episode might have SpongeBob working to promote the Krusty Krab around the whole town of Bikini Bottom. But that doesn't exclude itself from having some funny and questionable scenes that we can talk about.
It's eat or be eaten. The giant patty has eaten my buddy!
Relax, Patrick, it's me. This is just a costume.
Cough him up, you monster!
Patrick is for sure a very visceral starfish, but we had to have our eyes really open to catch the mistake that happens during this scene. Were you able to catch it? Well, when Patrick is fighting SpongeBob while our protagonist is wearing the Krusty Krab costume, SpongeBob drops some flyers to the ground. A couple of moments after, when the camera zooms out of the two friends fighting each other, the flyers are nowhere to be found. Maybe Patrick is so strong that he made them disappear.
Time, where have you been? I'm out of here.
Fire up the grill, laddie, and get ready for customers! And Patrick, buy something or get out.
Oh, boy.
Squidward was really angry in this episode due to the way that Mr. Krabs handled things, but his anger left us with a cool mistake that even we weren't able to catch at first. Well, when Squidward exits the Krusty Krab, he manifests his discomfort by throwing his employee hat onto the ground. Such a bad employee, isn't he? Fast forward a couple of scenes later, and when everybody is ready to enter the Krusty Krab right before Mr. Krabs chooses his last customer, and poof, the hat is nowhere to be found. It truly is a magical hat. Number 3. Boating buddies. Seems like SpongeBob doesn't know when he's crossing the line with his friends, especially when things involve Squidward. This episode has Squidward going to the same boating school as SpongeBob in order to learn how to properly drive a boat. This sounds like a wacky adventure from our two favorite protagonists, but this adventure also had its fair share of errors. So, let's look at them together.
I have it, Squidward. You gave it to me to leave you alone yesterday. Squidward, you can have the $5 back. Mr. Krabs says
I don't care what Mr. Krabs says!
SpongeBob's clothing is the main suspect for many of the animation errors that we can find in the show, but did you catch this one? Well, after Squidward offers $5 to SpongeBob in exchange for leaving him alone and being able to enjoy the morning, SpongeBob gets scared for a second. It is that precise moment where SpongeBob's belt changes from black to white. What a cool error to find in this episode.
everything I know, and then we can...
We won't be doing anything because there is no we. Understand?
Quiet in the front, please.
Remember that we told you that SpongeBob's clothing is the main suspect when searching for some animation errors? Well, this scene had a cool one to find regarding his belt again. When everybody is sitting in the boating class, you can see that SpongeBob's side belt disappears. We hope that from now on, everybody pays more attention to our protagonist's clothing. Number 4, sun bleached. Who's ready to get sun bleached? Well, this might sound like your typical beach, summer-oriented episode, but having a great time during summer doesn't exclude you from having some animation errors, right? Let's check them out.
I used Patrick's tanning booth, and I stayed under too long.
Oh, this is too precious. You're sun bleached.
This is a really hard one, but have you found it? Well, when Squidward is shouting at SpongeBob about how bad his dry state looks, Squidward's neck disappears for a couple of frames. This might be a fast one, but for sure is another proof of Squidward needing to control his anger. Let's move on to another scene. Somebody should revise how people write their signs in Bikini Bottom. This spelling error might have been overlooked by many of us, but if you look closely at the Bikini Bottom Summer Shindig, the word shindig is misspelled because even if the sign had to use the word shindig, it is written as shinding. Hard one to catch. Number 5, Nautical Novice. He might not be the best driver around, but SpongeBob impressed Mrs. Puff with his knowledge of boating history on this one. Well, even if SpongeBob's knowledge surprised us all on this one, we found some cool and funny scenes to show you. Let's take a look.
It's working! She's noticing my vast knowledge. I can now taste the sweet, sweet lamination of a fresh boating license.
After demonstrating his knowledge about boating history, SpongeBob says the next phrase to Mrs. Puff. I can now taste the sweet, sweet lamination of a fresh boating license. Well, if you looked at SpongeBob at that same moment, his teeth turn yellow for a small frame. Bragging about something is never a cool thing to do.
Oh, my gravy! He even knows the hearty laugh. He has been doing his homework.
Ha ha ha!
We saved the best for last, and this might be the hardest error to catch in today's video. Did you notice anything strange happening to SpongeBob's tongue? Well, if you look at our hero's tongue when he is maniacally laughing, there is a small moment where his tongue disjoints from his mouth and it's seen flying through the air. Many parts of SpongeBob's body changed during this episode. There you have it, SpongeBob fans. Some animation errors and funny moments that you can find in your favorite show. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel so we can provide you with even funnier SpongeBob content. Bye-bye!